Welcome to Rare Coins Value. The 1965 quarter dollar of the United States is a very interesting and historic coin that holds a special place in American numismatic history. It is part of the Washington Quarter series, which was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birth anniversary of George Washington, the first president of the United States. However, the year 1965 is not just an ordinary date for this coin. It is a turning point in the history of U.S. coinage because of the major change in metal composition and design policy that took place during this period. Before 1965, U.S. quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. But starting in 1965, the mint changed the composition to a copper-nickel-clad coin due to rising silver prices and a hoarding of silver coins by the public. This decision by the U.S. government marked the end of circulating silver quarters, making the 1965 issue historically significant as the very first clad Washington quarter. The coin has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a weight of 5.67 grams. Its edge is reeded, and instead of the earlier silver shine, the clad quarters have a slightly different metallic look because of the layers of copper and nickel. On the obverse front side, the coin features a bold left-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty, and below the portrait is the date 1965, with the motto "In God We Trust" inscribed to the left. On the reverse backside, the design features a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread open, clutching a bundle of arrows, and below the eagle are two olive branches, symbolizing both war and peace. Surrounding the top is the United States of America, while just above the eagle's head is a motto, E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. At the bottom, we find a denomination clearly written as quarter dollar. One notable fact about the 1965 quarter is that it does not carry a mint mark regardless of where it was produced. This was a deliberate decision by the U.S. Mint to discourage coin hoarding and speculation because people had started collecting coins with mint marks. Normally, quarters struck in Philadelphia carried no mint mark, but those struck in Denver or San Francisco carried a small letter D or S. In 1965, all mint marks were removed, so every quarter from that year looks the same. This change, along with a switch from silver to clad composition, makes 1965 a landmark year in the history of U.S. coinage. In terms of mintage, the 1965 Washington quarter was produced in very large numbers because the mint wanted to flood the market with the new clad coins to replace silver coins being hoarded. Over 1.8 billion quarters were minted in 1965, making it one of the highest mintage years for quarters. As a result, the coin is not considered rare in circulated condition, and most examples found in everyday change are worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, collectors do seek well-preserved, uncirculated, or special error coins from this year. For example, some transitional errors exist where 1965 dated quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These rare silver 1965 quarters are extremely valuable and highly sought after by collectors, sometimes fetching thousands of dollars at auctions. Similarly, certain high-grade mint state, examples graded MS-66 or higher, can also carry a premium in the numismatic market. The historical importance of the 1965 quarter goes beyond just its physical design. It represents the changing economic and political environment of the United States in the 1960s. The government was under pressure to reduce the use of silver in everyday coinage due to the rising cost of silver, which was making it impractical for mass circulation. The public also played a role by hoarding coins made of silver, fearing they would lose purchasing power. By introducing the copper-nickel-clad quarters, the mint ensured more stable and affordable coinage system that could meet the needs of the growing U.S. economy. This decision influenced not only quarters, but also other denominations like dimes and half dollars, which also lost their silver content starting in 1965. Collectors today often view the 1965 Washington quarter as a modern coin, but in reality, it is now more than half a century old and serves as a reminder of a major shift in U.S. coinage history. While its face value is still just 25 cents, its historical context, connection to the silver to clad transition, and its role in the broader Washington Quarter series make it an interesting collectible. Numismatists often recommend keeping a close eye on 1965 quarters, especially checking for rare errors or high-grade examples, as they can be far more valuable than their everyday counterparts. In conclusion, the 1965 quarter dollar is not just an ordinary coin. It marks the beginning of a new era in U.S. coinage. It is the first clad Washington quarter, produced without a mint mark, and struck in extremely large numbers to meet the demands of circulation during a time of economic change. Although common in circulation today, its historical importance and the existence of rare silver-era coins make it a fascinating subject for collectors and coin enthusiasts. Would you like me to also include a channel-style ending note like share, subscribe, and support?